Hello. Hi, Deb.
Hello.
Hello. And hi, everyone. And happy Halloween. It is truly spooky season, Halloween season. We are just a few days away to Halloween. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know that this is one of your favorite holidays, right? Like you've told me like this feeling, these colors, they're your vibe.
Yeah, totally. And I love all the different characters of Halloween and all the different interpretations of them and the spooky side, the whimsical side.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we brought out our costumes. I'm a little alien today, and you have a fabulous headpiece. Got a spider on there. Will you turn your head there? Show us. Oh, I love it. So cool. So if you've been looking for a place to wear your costume, just put it on right now and join us. We are having a virtual Halloween party right now. You're all invited. I'm so glad you're here. And we're gonna do some beading. We're gonna do some fun. I don't think anything too hard, just easy beading. Get us in that Halloween crafty spirit. Because I mean, a lot of people make their own costumes. Like Halloween is like a DIYer's holiday.
Totally.
Yeah. I've been sourcing my costume. I'm going to be Eurydice from the Hadestown musical, which is very specific. Yeah, it's one of my favorite musicals, but Eurydice is also the character from mythology. So I looked up. I've seen the show, and I looked up photos of what the costume looked like to remember. So I went to Goodwill this weekend to grab some pieces, and it's coming together. This is my first.
Does it involve makeup or hair or anything?
That part's less important. It's more like certain clothing elements, certain props that I've been trying to get. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Are we gonna see like a picture of this after the fact?
Ooh, we'll see. I am planning to wear it to work on Tuesday, so maybe someone will be taking photos. Shira will probably take photos.
So yeah, I think if Shira's around, we'll see a photo, right?
Yeah, you might. It might make its way to Gem Chat.
That's great.
Well, I sent your way the October bead box, which was our very celestial outer space theme. It was our Colors of the Cosmos box, and we're actually doing 2 classes together with it, both this Friday and next. I wanted to double challenge you today. I wanted you to see how you could take the box and give it a Halloween angle, find those elements in the box. So I know with the SilverSilk, the beads, you've come up with something. I've brought together some of our fall pumpkin Halloween beads in the shop. I'm going to try to make something as well. So yeah, we hope you'll join us and we'll all make together. Do you want to talk about your piece? Should we flip your camera? Okay.
I'll flip and then we can kind of talk. So bear with me while I flip.
Yes, and I think I can make myself solo for a moment. Hey everyone, is anyone else got a costume in the works, or are you wearing one today? Please share who you're going to be for Halloween in the comments. I would love to know. Is anyone else going to be an alien? And let me know when I should add you back in, Deb.
I think I'm set if you can see me on your end.
Perfect. Yeah, let me add you back. Let me make you the bigger one.
Spooky little setup here.
I love that. That's so cool.
We'll take that off because it will catch on everything.
It was perfect though.
So I kind of cheated and got started on this project because it's got a lot of wire working to do. So I thought, not to keep everybody here for the rest of the night, I would get started, and I thought I would talk through what I did with the SilverSilk to finish it off, just so that you guys know that. I probably could have done this on camera, but I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do until I set out to do it. So this is the amazing SilverSilk that was available. Did you sell this as an add-on, Rachel?
Yep, this is one of our exactly. This is one of the design elements that folks could grab once the box was revealed to match the box, and we still have some available.
So this is like the perfect thing for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talked about this, I thought, all right, well, I have to use the orange silver silk because this is just Halloween epitomized here in a
Yeah.
jewelry component. So I love this, and I thought that I would kind of put together a little bit of almost like a witchy effect necklace.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do some wire wrapping. And this is like for the basic wire wrapper, beginning wire wrapper. And if you're an expert wire wrapper, your wraps are going to look so much better than mine. But
Don't worry. No, this is so great.
for finishing off, I did use the SilverSilk components because I really liked the tone of the metal, and I happen to have some. So these are the little terminators that you can find on Nile's SilverSilk site. I don't think, Rachel, you guys carry these. You carry the little caps.
Those. Yeah, silversilkonline.com. He has so many great options. And then, we also have what we call our open cord ends that people can use as well. So there's a few options out there.
Yeah. So I just went ahead and I attached mine. And if you have never worked with these, they're super easy to work with. You can stretch them open, and then I use a pair of coated flat nose pliers, and I just cinch them down. And I went ahead and I attached a lobster and a little loop to create the closure for this. So I finished it off so that we can focus on what we're doing down here. And I absolutely love these check glass crescents from the box. These are the absolute coolest beads. I love the color of them. I love the texture of them. They've got a little bit of like a rustic look to them.
Yeah.
So this is also, in my view, very aligned with sort of a Halloween witchy kind of a feel. So I've got some, what is this, 20 gauge wire. So you could use a different gauge. You could use a 22 gauge if you'd like. I wouldn't go to 18. 20 is probably as thick of a wire as I would use. Because you want to be able to get through the beads okay, and you really want to be able to manipulate it around your silver silk. So I did use 20 gauge in this case, and I've got this sort of brassy gold tone wire that I think looks really cool with the different shades of gold that we've got going here. We're going to use 4 more of these crescents. And then we're going to use the Tiara cast circle piece. I don't have the actual name of it handy, but this was also in the box. Super cool. We're going to create our focal with that. Then we're also going to need one of these asteroids, which I just love this.
What a fun name, right?
I know. When I realized that's what it was called, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then these, Rachel, you might have to help me with these. These were, I think, a strand.
These were some 8mm smooth druck rounds that had this super cool gold and silver like splatter metallic wash on them.
So cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
So even though we're focused on Halloween today, I mean, I can't unsee the cosmos aspect of this.
Yeah.
So, trying to focus on the Halloween part of today. So, so let's start with, I'm gonna create the focal part of the necklace since we've got part of our necklace done already. What I show you really quickly, I wrapped the 22 gauge or the 20 gauge wire around 3 times. I'm going to do it on this side, so I'll show you. I attached the bead, wrapped it around 3 times, then I kind of did one pass around the silver silk and then started the next one. And I've got a series of 4, and they'll kind of stand up from the silver silk, which, if you're wearing the necklace, you'll see them kind of standing up along the side of it, which I think looks really neat. So, but we're going to add this to the silver silk as well. But before we do that, we're going to add these beads. So we're going to wrap on a few of those, and I'm going to cut, I don't know, probably about a foot of wire. That's probably a little less than a foot. And I'm going to put that onto our little component here, circular component. Just kind of push that wire around it. And I want to do, I like to do things in 3s. So I'm going to pull the wire through, and we're going to have a series of 3. Now I've got this little piece here that I need to press down. So that's another reason I like to have some coated pliers handy, because then I can really get a good connection with that wire. So then I'm going to take one of these super cool beads. It's Drux. And if I can get this to go on here. So I just want this, this bead to kind of sit on the edge of our component. So I'm going to pull the wire around behind our little component and pull it through. And then add my, actually I'm going to pull it through one more time, and I'm going to add my next one. I'm going to have 3 beads, but you could actually do more if you would like. You could add a whole bunch of beads if you wanted. You could go all the way around if you want. So these are just going to kind of hang down. My camera will focus. There we go. So just going to hang down from the center. So got the little wraps that way. I'm going to add my last one. So we're embellishing our ring. And then we're adding this to embellish the silver silk.
Yeah.
We're going to embellish tonight.
Add and add and add. No.
we could keep adding forever, right?
True.
There's so many
we're
things.
wire wrapping on however many beads that people want to add on. Absolutely.
There's so many beads in this box. Like you could just keep adding and adding and adding. One. So that's kind of what I went for, is just kind of a little piece with some beads that have got a little bit of that celestial feel. And
I like that. I just want to add, I like that you chose the gold wire for because it creates more contrast. Like you actually want people to see the wire wrapping.
Yeah.
I like that touch.
I do like dark wire. So I have, in my own jewelry line, I've got what I call my dark metals collection. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of this dark metal. And a lot of times it's dark on dark, but I do like to add gold with it. There's just something about gold and black that's so powerful. Yeah. So fun. So we're going to take this and attach it to our silver silk. And it's going to kind of sit on the silver silk, much like those beads are just kind of sitting on that ring component. So I'm going to cut myself a little bit more wire, and I don't know exactly how much I'll go with, because it's all about, for me, visually what looks good once you kind of get it on there. So I try to make sure that I've got a little bit of space between this section of beads. And then I'm going to just grab this whole kit and caboodle here. And this is kind of fiddly until you get it just right. So I'm going to pull the wire up and kind of bend it in half and get that ring on there and crisscross those wires up top. And I think I'm going to push that over just a touch. So I've got it crisscrossed. And then I'm just going to start doing a little bit of a messy wrap around. Now, if you are more of a perfectionist and don't like the messy wrap, you can do this much nicer if you'd like. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way personally.
Yeah, it just depends what kind of look you're going for.
Yeah. And I'm just going to get enough wraps around that I feel like it's secured and that it's somewhat sort of even up top. So got quite a few wraps there, but I think I just want to keep going a little bit more. And I want to kind of fill in some of the blanks where the dark is showing. So I kind of like where this is going. I'll show you in 1 second. So I like the way that looks. Just a little, almost like a little bit of a bail up there. And it's just kind of sitting on the SilverSilk. So it's not below, it's just kind of sitting on it. So we're securing that wire around and securing that ring. And then I'm just going to make sure I like how that's all sitting. And then I'm going to cut the wire in the back. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time fidgeting the back. You definitely will want to make sure you get this cinched down because this is going to be the part that's like closest to your skin or closest to your clothes. So you'll want to make sure that's not got any pokey ends on it.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure it's comfortable for sure.
Yeah. So this guy is a little off center, so I'm pulling over a little bit, and I like where that is. Now we're gonna take. I'm being rude, Rachel. Do you want to go to you for a little bit? And
oh no, you're sure. I'd be happy. Yeah, you want to pause there because I still want people to see.
Yeah.
The next part, but yeah, I can show. I've made some progress. I can show people what's going on my bead board.
Cool. I hear the beads.
Yep, I know they've been rattling.
I love that sound.
All right, let's see. All right, I can show you guys what I have going on. So far, I have strung up this little element. So I took these fabulous pumpkin beads, which we had like four sets left in stock if anyone wants to grab some, but they have this beautiful color mixing with the copper. So I've taken those. We had a seedy palette that we designed, I think maybe even for a bead box like 2 years ago or something, but we still had some more of these 4 colors. And I thought they really gave me that, that autumn Halloween feel. So right now I'm using, let's see, the transparent topaz. I also might mix in some of this opaque ox blood because of the deep red. So I'm starting with the stringing portion of my necklace. So my pattern is using the seed beads, and then I'm putting I think these are hessonite rounds on each side of the pumpkin. So I want to go up, at least have a few pumpkins going up each side. And then I also have, I have one of the pipe chain design elements from that went with the September box, this nice deep rich brown. So I thought, actually no, I think it's black with some brass on it. So my idea is that that'll make up the rest of it. And I purposely put this bail here to kind of give me some flexibility around how I do my focal piece. So I have some ideas around using this beautiful Monstera leaf focal. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll wire wrap or seed bead around it or something. But this way, like whatever I decide to do, I'll add a jump ring to the top to attach it. And this way, like it could come on and off with a jump ring. And I just wasn't ready to commit to that part yet.
You
So
still have
that's what I
the right
decided.
to change your mind, Rachel. You can.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm stringing up. So I can show people my pattern here. So here, I'll start on this side. So you can see I've got the little round, and I am using. Oh, good question, Kimberly. I am using beading wire right now. We have this really cool satin gold beadalon in the shop, and I just thought this color was really cool. So I know we've got some more rolls in the shop. So I'm using this. It's a 19 strand 0.018. So it fits everything very easily. So any stringing wire will do. So I've been doing 7 seed beads between each one. So I'm going to keep going with that. And let's see. Yeah, I can kind of use the end of my thread as a needle because it's pretty sturdy. So I'm going to pick up 7. Dropped one.
That color is so perfect for Halloween and fall. I just love that.
Yes. Just that warmth. Thank you. Yeah, I love it too. Okay. That is 7. So I've got my 7 beads. I'll add one of my little hessonite rounds. I think this would be a 4 millimeter. Add one of my pumpkins. I don't know. I've been varying it, like which side I put like the blue and which side the. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, I want it to be random. So that means I have to very much think about it.
It's planned random.
Exactly. And then, yeah, put the other hessonite round on the other end. At first, when I was playing around and stringing it up as you were getting started, I didn't have the rounds and it was just like seed bead right to the pumpkin. But I just thought that it was like too small. The seed beads were so small next to the pumpkins. I kind of needed something that was an in-between size to bridge that together. So let's see. It looks like I know. Yeah. So I've got 4 on this side. So I think I'll try to match that on this side, and then I'll add my pipe chain. So I think I'll keep stringing. Do you want to show people the wire wrap on the other side?
Yeah. We'll have one more piece for our focal too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So go to whatever part you would like to next. My bad.
Yeah. So we have this this asteroid, if my camera will focus. There we go. This asteroid bead matches the little crescent beads perfectly. So we're going to just add something in the void of our ring component. So I'm going to do just a little, just really easy little dangle. And I love that this is shaped so that when the wire goes up, it'll fill in that shape. Just a cool bead, just a totally cool bead. It's my new favorite bead. So I'm just gonna pull one wire around the other and then pull that wire straight up. And then I'm just gonna create some wraps. And this I want to be messy as well because I want this to be a substantive little dangle in my in my ring component. So I'm just making that messy, and then I'm going to snip off my excess. And so we've got 2 different shades of gold here, which I think, it's here, it looks really neat together. And then I'm going to make a loop and I'm going to wrap it around the top of my messy wrap here. So in order to do that, I need some big bail making pliers. So that's what I'm using here. This will never get me very far, even at the highest, part of my pliers there. So I'm going to use the large barrel of my bail making pliers and going to create a loop. So I'm probably off camera. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to create that loop. That might be just a touch too big, but I can adjust that because the wire is going to be pliable. And I'm going to push that loop down onto my little sort of bail on my ring component. Let's see if I can do this so that it won't be too long. So I'm going to pull that guy around. I'm going to need a little assist. I'm going to use some pliers to get it up through there. Now this is just a little bit too long, but guess what? I'm just going to push on that guy and get that to fit in there. So I've got that. Hello.
That's our, that'd be on my side. That is very luckily, I'm sure everyone will love this. That is the mail lady, the USPS truck coming by to pick up the last of our packages from this ship week. Woo! Heading off to their new forever homes. So
well,
that means the beads. Yeah, that means the beads are flying out.
That's a happy sound right there.
Exactly. We were like, they were running. Usually they'd be here by now on a Friday, and we were like, where are they? Come on! And so that was a very happy doorbell.
Yay! That's a great sound. Yes. All right. So this is not perfect, guys, but you get the idea of we're creating a little bit of a drop here and adding that little asteroid bead. But all I did was just wrap it around my already existing wrap where we created a bit of a bail. So now we've got a complete focal here, and you can manipulate that a little bit if you need to, but I like how that looks. Looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take the last of these crescent beads and we're going to wrap them on the other side. And I find this to be the trickiest of this project, only because, if I was mathematical, I would sort of measure this all out. And generally speaking, I think jewelry people are not mathematical. Not mathy, not math-ish.
Yeah, a lot of us just, we like to eye things. It's just whatever the creative energy says to do.
Yes. So I get nervous at this stage because I'm hoping to God I can get it to match up where it's supposed to be. So I'm eyeballing it and I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to get that. Actually, I want this wire to go on this side. So I'm going to get the first wrap around, and I'm not going to make it super tight because I do want to adjust it just a touch. And I like that. So I'm going to push that one down, and then I'm going to pull this one around. Get this guy out of the way. And I just need one more wrap. And then I'm going to add my first bead. But before I do that, I'm going to get rid of my excess here. And I have to say, this was a bit of a test for this SilverSilk because I made this necklace once, photographed it, and took it apart. And all this wire work on this did not impact the SilverSilk at all. Like I thought maybe it would be, I might have some nicks or maybe even some tears in the metal mesh. Nope.
Yeah. It totally held up. Oh, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
So that means if you do this wire wrapping on your piece and if you're not happy with how it turns out the first time, take it off. Obviously, don't cut the actual wire of the pipe chain, but yes, you can redo it if you feel like you're not, if you're not happy with take one.
I actually almost recorded myself taking it off and how I did it because I was going to say if anybody wanted to see how I did that.
Yeah.
It was not super easy to do, but but I used pliers and I just kind of was patient with it. And so I did 3 wraps, pulled the wire around under. So it's technically about 4 wraps. And then I put my bead on. And then I want to create like 3 more wraps on the other side. So, and I want them to be fairly close to the other wraps, kind of underneath, behind, around that bead. So if it's not as close as you would like, I have like 27 pairs of pliers over here now. So you can actually kind of cinch your wire together, and you can even cinch all of it a little closer together. So come on, camera, focus. There we go. So you have some ability to manipulate, and then I like to sort of do one wrap around to extend to the next set of wraps. So I just give a little bit of space. If you see over here, just a little bit of space in between the beads. So I'm going to do my wraps again. I'm sorry if that little end finding is making a lot of noise there. All right, now we're going to add another one of our beads. What do I do with that? Here's my bead. Let's add my bead. And I'm going to pull that guy over a little bit, go back behind, and then I'm going to just kind of push that wire behind that crescent. Let's see that. And I'm going to run out of wire. So I'm actually going to I'm going to do this. So I'm going to pull that next one over, and then I'm going to cut, and I'm just going to add some more. So I didn't start with as much wire because to do on camera what I'm doing here with that much wire, I'd be hitting my phone and doing all kinds of nonsense. So I'll just take
But people always, it's actually helpful sometimes to see like, oh, how do I add thread? How do I add wire? Like those kind of little things are very helpful.
Yeah, so I've got this this one tucked behind, and now since I want to do 3 wraps, I'm just going to start right next to it, and I'm going to pull that one in between, and I'm going to push those together. And then I'm going to pull that last one down because I'm going to add my bead. And then I'm going to get rid of my little bit of excess back there. Always make sure that you hold on to that little piece so that it does not go flying into your eyeball. That is no good. All right. So now I've got those cinched up. Push those off to the side. Now I can put on my next bead. I definitely have enough wire now to do the last 2. And I was also thinking as a variation of this, guys, if you wanted to flip the bead in the other orientation. So if you wanted to do them all this way, that's also something fun that you could do. So
for sure.
Just a different way to think about it. I'm sure you guys can come up with all kinds of fun, different ways to do this. So I've got 3 more wraps. Going to push that under that bead. And then I'm going to get one kind of swoop around the silver silk. Then I'm going to start my 3 wraps again. And this, this is, again, like, because I didn't do this very scientifically, I don't know how even this is going to be when I actually show it to you. but we're just going to go with it.
All good, all good. Whatever happens.
Whatever happens here.
Good vibes only on this at this Halloween party.
It's all about just making something. Like, let's just make
Exactly.
something.
I mean, I literally I picked out some beads and I said, all right, I'm making something. It's happening.
We're making something. We're actually gonna make something.
I know. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm not gonna question it. Just see what happens.
I was filling out a little questionnaire the other day, and the question was, "Are you a maker?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, of course I'm a maker."
Yeah.
And that was my response. Of course.
Of course. That's that's not a question.
These people don't really know me, so they
Oh.
barely know that, but of course I'm a maker.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
All right, so the back of my piece is showing. So the back's not so pretty, but I'm tucking in. I just wrapped my last piece of wire around, and I'll probably fiddle with these just a little bit. So again, kind of getting my pliers in here and trying to pull those guys together a little, just to try and get them a little tighter. But they don't have to be perfect. Like I said, they're not going to be perfect. And you could try to make them perfect if you want, certainly. But this is our piece.
Fabulous.
I think it's
so
kind of fun.
Oh, it's so fun. I love it. And I like how you brought both the gold beads together so they pair so well. You got the gold, the black, the orange. This feels very Halloween-y, very witchy.
Yes, I think it has sort of a celestial witchy kind of vibe. And
it's abstract. I love it.
Yeah, I love the pipe chain is just so fun to work with. And if you guys actually try this and you don't like the way that your wraps came out or how they're sitting, just grab your chain nose, flat nose pliers, and you can pull it up. You might even be able to reuse the wire if it's not too work hardened. But you can always try and get it a little straighter or a little tighter if you want. But I kind of like the messy vibe of this.
Oh, fabulous. Would you try it on for us?
I certainly will.
Is that doable?
It is.
And I'll pull up my... Okay. While you flip your camera around, I can show off what I have going on. All right, so I'll move this camera down. So I have strung on all my beads and I added the pipe chain on one side. So I thought I'd show you how to add it on the other side. So I like to think of pipe chain as basically like a bead that you get to choose the length of. So you get it in these long I'll show you. I got to show everyone your piece in one moment.
Yeah.
You get it in this long length, but you can cut it off, and no matter where you cut it off, whatever length you want will work. So I cut 2 pieces and I just made sure to cut them the same length. So it's really for my project, I'm using it in a stringing version. You showed how to use it with wire wrapping, and I'm going to show you just with some stringing. So I'm taking our what we call our open cord ends, and we call them open because they have that. Often cord ends will be closed, but this one has that opening on the other side. So I'm going to put one open cord end, and then I'll string my pipe chain just like I'd string on a bead. It's just a very long bead.
Oh, that cord looks great with that.
Thank you. So I've got that. So that is what helps complete my necklace. And it's so nice because and so quickly you've filled out so much of your necklace. It's kind of a hack. You're like, oh yeah, I don't really want to string on any more little seed beads. Let's just do this. It's fabulous.
We'll string on the big beads. The big SilverSilk beads.
And then I put just strung on this cord end. Sometimes I'll just like pinch the wire if it's coming out a little there, just as I cover it. So now I just need to crimp that side. So let's see here.
I do like those cord ends a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're so handy. So I've added one of those. And then let's see. Got one of my jump rings. Gonna make sure it's closed as well as it can be. All right, that is closed. So now I will string my beading wire through there, back through the crimp bead. Now, the thing I want to be careful with is it's always thinking about tension when I put this crimp bead on. It's like, I don't want to make it so, I don't want to pull so tight that like nothing can move around and it won't sit nicely on the neck. But obviously you don't want it so long, you end up seeing a lot of the thread. So I don't know, you can kind of play with it, see what feels good. I want everything to be able to, also like when you're doing it, if you lay it out straight, you're probably going to make it too tight. But by actually, as you're doing it, keeping it curved, it has enough, the tension's loose enough that it can curve. So that's a good thing to do. So there you go. Now you can see it all if I turn it sideways. So I'm going to crimp this down.
And having those long strands does complicate that a little bit. But I think you're absolutely right on. Like you let it curve, even with the curve of the SilverSilk, and you've got the right tension then.
Exactly.
Those pumpkin beads are so cool.
Right. Oh my God. We've got a bunch of new pumpkin beads in this year, and these ones are my favorite.
You said there were only a few of those left, right? So there may not be any left after this live.
We'll see. I recommend grabbing them because they'll work great in your fall, autumn designs. Let's see if I can either just cut it right up against there, or let's see if I could. There we go. Push that in. I manipulate it a little bit. I'm just tucking in that extra wire. Cool. Pretty close. All right, I can play around more later. All right, so wow, I've strung up a whole necklace. I can't believe it. So I've got it all strung up with the fabulous pipe chain. I'll just have to add a clasp at the end, and then I've got my bail here. So we still got a little bit of time. I can play around with my focal idea, but I want everyone to see what your finished piece looks like.
Well, I love, so I wore kind of a weird top today, but.
Oh, it pops on the black though.
It really, like the little gold pieces, just, they're fun. They're really fun.
That lays so nicely.
Yeah, and you'll just want to tuck in any of the wire pieces in the back. So you spend a little time playing around with that, but the SilverSilk feels so nice on your neck, and the main with all the wire down here, you probably won't feel any of that, but it's a fun.
It looks so good. I love it so much, and it completes your look. I love it. You are in the Halloween spirit now.
Definitely. I definitely am now.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Let's see. I don't know where I'm going next with this. I'm going to make this one the big one. So I just obsessed with these Monstera leaf focals.
Beautiful.
So I mean, the simplest option would be put on a head pin. I really want a brick stitch around it. We don't have that much time, but I'll at least start and I can finish it later. But I want to so badly. So I'm going to start.
Just do it. Just do it.
Yes. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'd love to know, do you, while we're chit-chatting here, I don't know, do you have any Halloween memories? I don't know, whether it's from childhood or from whenever, that, I don't know, just, yeah, I'd love to hear some Halloween memories that you cherish.
So growing up, I lived not too far away from a couple of cousins, and their mom was super, super creative. My Aunt Pat, and they every year they would have a Halloween party. And I remember those Halloween parties like it was yesterday, because we all dressed up, of course, but one of the things that my Aunt Pat did was she created this game for all the kids where you had to put your hand in a bowl and figure out what you were touching, and you had a blindfold, and she used like peeled grapes. And so when you put your hand in the bowl and they were peeled, if they felt like eyeballs, and of course all the kids would put their hand in there and go, ah!
It's so gross.
And there was, I think she used like some kind of pasta for like worms, and we just had so much fun. And she took the time to do like the dry ice in the house, and everything was decorated, and she had all these fancy lights to make the house look spooky. And I mean, they were just like epic Halloween parties for kids, like just super, super fun. We were probably, while this was happening every year, we were probably in the age range of like maybe, 7 to 9, 7 to 10. And we just had a blast. Those are things I remember like they were yesterday. So much fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's so special to have those family or friends or whatever who will put in the effort for that to create such a special holiday memory. I love that.
Yeah.
So cool.
I was an only child, so I loved going over to my cousin's house who had siblings, and then they had friends. And so it was, just this big, all these kids running around, and it was, it was a sugar fest on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that also is everyone's favorite, at least as a kid. Yeah, that's another favorite part of Halloween.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Ooh, actually, I was talking about this recently. I think it's Twix. I love Twix, like the caramel and like the crunch and the chocolate, and I'm a big fan.
I do like.
How about you?
Too.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, I like gummy candy, but like at Halloween time, I always liked the little baby Snickers.
Yeah.
The little, short, small little candy bars, little fun-sized candy bars.
Yeah.
The Snickers was always my favorite. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, those always felt like treasures to get those. Like, oh, yeah, I got chocolate. Basically, yeah, I mean, honestly, anything with chocolate, I think, for me, is the winner.
Yeah, I remember when I used to work from home years ago, and we lived in a neighborhood with a lot of kids, I would buy the big, huge bags of candy from like Costco, and I would always buy the chocolate bag that had all the candy bars. And my husband would come home from work, and every day the bag would be like a little bit smaller. What happened to all the candy? I don't know. What happened to it?
I don't know. The Halloween ghost.
The hazards of working from home at the time.
Yes.
Like, eating all the Halloween candy. Terrible.
Yeah. Growing up for us, every year we would go to the same street for trick-or-treating. There's this one very long street in Berkeley where like it's just it almost feels like if you choose to move to that street, you are committing to like going all out.
Yes.
Like the decorations, like I mean, these people just transform their homes. Like you know, they have stuff coming out of the upper windows, things all over their lawn. Like it is such a commitment. And it was, I mean, it was so cool to see. Like I actually asked my dad, I was like, you know, obviously I was a kid and everything felt big and magical. Like as an adult, was it cool? Like seeing it? He's like, yeah, it was cool. Like it was actually cool. It's like, okay, it wasn't just like my childhood memory.
Yes.
But like going to that street in Berkeley, like growing up every year is like, that is like what I think of when I think of Halloween. Yeah.
How fun. How fun.
Yeah.
What about those like there's always in like any major city, probably in small towns too, there's always those haunted houses that you go to and like they're really for adults and like people jump out at you and scream at you and things pop up. And do you like that kind of thing? Like, is that something you do?
I have gotten into that. Well, it's weird because so I do not like horror movies like at all. Like that whole genre is just off the table. Can't stand it. But I do like it, like the real life jump scare or someone like, you know, in the haunted house. So I went to a couple when I lived there were some good ones when I lived in Madison, Wisconsin. And I had a lot of fun. And I mean, they just made, I think it was, they like taken over some old bank and like the amount of, I mean, there was like this whole like decrepit hospital theme and this like carnival theme. And like, you just kept going and it like was all these different themes and people jumping out everywhere. And oh yeah, I loved it. But like, I was talking to my friend about who like, and she loves horror movies, but cannot stand that in real life. So I don't know. I guess there's something different about it. I don't know. But are you a fan or not of
I'm not a fan
the haunted house?
I'm not a fan of it because like I've seen some of the like the commercials on TV for them and there's like zombie clowns and stuff like that. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's just I'm not good. I'm a very jumpy person as it is.
Yeah.
Like, my husband could come around the corner while I'm unloading the dishwasher and I'm like, ah! Like,
yeah, me too. Me too.
I'm so jumpy. So I cannot imagine the sense of exhaustion I would have after going through one of those Halloween things.
True.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are not a fan in the comments is what I'm seeing. I don't know. There has to be some thrill seekers here though. There must be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know like some people look forward to that. That's like their thing every year. They got to go do that. They got to get out and do the haunted house. But can't do it.
There's lots of ways to celebrate.
What about what was your favorite Halloween costume like as a kid or an adult?
Yeah.
Whatever. What was your favorite costume?
Yeah. Okay, the ones like that I most actually this is funny. One that's most memorable is also as a kid was also from a Broadway musical, just like I'm doing this year. So like I've just always liked being characters from musicals. So I was a character I remember as a kid from The Music Man, that show. So there's I think her name is like Marion the Librarian. So I had this like cute little dress with like apples on it, and I probably like carried a book around or something. And I loved that character. In college, me and my friends were Totoro from like the Studio Ghibli movies, those films. So I think anything that's like a character from a film or a show like is, it's fun to like get to be your favorite things and stuff you like. Yeah. How about you?
When I was a kid, because I'm kind of old. When I was a kid, we had those costumes that came in a box, and it was like a plastic outfit and a plastic mask with the elastic around the back of your head. Yeah. I loved science fiction when I was a kid. Well, I still do. And so Planet of the Apes was a movie that was still fairly new when I was a kid. And So I was one of the apes from Planet of the Apes with the plastic mask and the
Oh my
plastic
God.
costume. But I just loved Planet of the Apes so much that I remember I just was walking around with the box like it was this treasure, that I was going to be one of the apes from Planet of the Apes.
Oh wait, that's memorable. That is great.
But as an adult, when I used to work in an office, this office that I worked in, it was in Sacramento, California. The department that I worked in, everybody loved Halloween. So they had this big, massive competition like every year. So all the different teams would decorate their cubicles, and you walked into the office, it was like it was a fire hazard. Like there were so many decorations up, and I forget what our theme was, but I dressed like a boy, like a tomboy, and I had on
Okay.
jeans and like a backwards hat, and I put like smudges of dirt on my face, and I had a big rubber frog that I put in my back pocket, and that was so fun, like, sneakers, and I think I was carrying around a baseball bat, and it was just fun every year that they would have some kind of theme. And so that's probably the last time I really, really dressed up, and that was
Yeah.
a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I often need the push to like get a costume together, but then like I actually do enjoy the process of coming up with something and then wearing it. Like I love it, but like some people it's like their instinct, like they're thinking about it months in advance, and I feel like, oh yeah, actually wait, let me do this. I saw there was an article in the New York Times that said like I think like expect to see this year a lot of Barbie and a lot of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And, people are going to go as the couple, Taylor Swift and someone else in a Chiefs outfit. So that's what everyone, I feel like everyone should count how many Taylor Swifts and how many Barbies they see this year.
For sure. Oh my God.
Those will be the big ones. I know. I'm sure there's other ones too, but those will be some of the big ones, I think.
For sure.
But Barbie is so easy, like in a good way. Like it's, just throw on some pink and I mean, I don't know if you saw the Barbie movie, but like there's so many versions of Barbie in it. So like you can choose whatever one you want to be.
Pick the Barbie you want to be.
Exactly.
Shouldn't that be the motto in life? Pick the Barbie.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
All right, here's where I've got into. I've been able to actually surprisingly make some progress here.
Pretty good.
Got some of these, the ox blood, the deep red, going around here. So I'll keep going with this later, see if I like it and get this attached with, maybe I'll make a little loop and a jump ring. But if you're curious how to do this kind of thing, just honestly go to Danielle Wick's jewelry, or Danielle Wick's website. She has so many tutorials, the fabulous tutorials for brick stitching around a bead. So that's where I learned, and she's probably done some videos for us on this. So I didn't really get into the technique, but it just wanted to give a little inspiration for how to use these.
That's going to look great. That's going to be a nice, finishing touch to that piece for sure. It'll be beautiful.
You. Here, let's see. I can't quite put mine on because I don't have a clasp, but I can at least hold it up.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll make us.
And I just love your head.
Here we go. Yeah, I know. That's part of the outfit, right? I have to wear these together.
So good. So good.
There we go. So that's how at least you can kind of see from afar how here, maybe I'll make myself bigger for one moment.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Good. So I like how those pumpkin beads lay. That's nice.
Yeah. Maybe you can integrate that into your costume.
I know. Maybe I might just add it. Like it doesn't. Yeah. Why not? It fits for Tuesday. Yeah. Cool. All right. We are at the hour, and this has been so fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thanks for having me. It was really fun. I love that we talked about Halloween too.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope everyone has a fabulous Halloween weekend and Halloween next Tuesday. Let's see, a couple just shop things folks should know. If you haven't yet, head over to the Sam's Bead Shop app. Take a look at the banner at the top of the app. There's a little, Sam threw a little sweet discount code there, a little gift. While he's in New York, he wanted to share a little gift with everyone. So check that out. And then we'll be back on Tuesday. We're going to have a live sale on Halloween. So, maybe your trick-or-treaters have stopped coming by, or you just, you want to hang out with us. It's going to be fun. Shira and Jesse are going to have a lot of fun on Halloween. So that should be a great one. So I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. All right. Bye,
Thanks,
all.
everyone. Bye.